Have you ever said yes when your whole heart was screaming no? Do you find yourself exhausted, drained, and stretched too thin because you're trying to keep everyone else happy? Let me tell you something. It's time to take back your power. Today, we're diving into how to set boundaries without feeling guilty, because you deserve to protect your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They're gates to let the right people in. Yet so many of us feel guilty for saying no, standing firm, or prioritizing our own needs. In this video, we're breaking down the steps to set boundaries that empower you, strengthen your relationships, and eliminate guilt along the way. Let's start with the first step. Point number 1, understand your worth. The first step to setting boundaries is recognizing your worth. If you don't value your time and energy, no one else will. Think about this. When you say yes to things that drain you, you're saying no to the things that matter most to you. Your dreams, your health, your happiness. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what would life look like if you respected your own limits as much as you respect others' demands? Setting boundaries starts with believing you're worth protecting, because you are. But how do you communicate those boundaries in a way that feels authentic and strong? That brings us to the next step. Point number 2, communicate clearly and firmly. When it comes to boundaries, clarity is kindness. Vague hints and passive comments only lead to misunderstandings. Instead, speak with confidence. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not sure I can make it," say, "I won't be able to attend, but I hope it goes well." It's not about being rude, it's about being honest. Remember, saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone who respects themselves enough to honor their own needs. And trust me, the people who truly care about you will respect you even more for it. But what happens when guilt creeps in? That's where the next step comes into play. Point number 3, reframe guilt as growth. Guilt is often a sign that you're breaking old habits, and that's a good thing. Society has taught many of us, especially young adults, to put others first, no matter the cost. But here's the truth. Feeling guilty doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're stepping into a new version of yourself. Instead of letting guilt hold you back, let it remind you that you're growing. Every time you set a boundary, you're teaching people how to treat you and teaching yourself that you deserve respect. But boundaries aren't just about saying no. They're about creating space for what truly matters. Let's explore that next. Point number 4, focus on what you're saying yes to. Every no is a yes to something else. When you say no to endless obligations, you're saying yes to rest, creativity, or meaningful relationships. Imagine how your life would transform if you started prioritizing the things that truly light you up. Boundaries aren't restrictions. They're invitations to live more intentionally. Instead of thinking about what you're cutting out, focus on what you're making room for. It's not about shutting the world out, it's about letting the right things in. So how do you make these boundaries stick in your everyday life? Let's wrap it up with our final step. Point number 8, be consistent and kind. The key to maintaining boundaries is consistency. If you set a boundary and then waver, people will test it. But when you consistently reinforce your limits with kindness, they'll begin to understand and respect them. For example, if someone questions your boundary, calmly reiterate it. "I understand you'd like me to help, but I'm not available. Thank you for understanding." Being firm doesn't mean being cold. You can hold your ground and still be compassionate. Over time, people will learn that your boundaries are non-negotiable, and that's when the guilt truly fades. Setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's how you show up for yourself and for others in a way that's authentic, energized, and sustainable. So today I challenge you. Take one small step towards setting a boundary you've been avoiding. Remember, you deserve to live a life that feels like your own. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. Your peace of mind is worth it. Setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's how you show up for yourself and for others in a way that's authentic, energized, and sustainable. So today I challenge you. Take one small step towards setting a boundary you've been avoiding. Remember, you deserve to live a life that feels like your own. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. Your peace of mind is worth it.